Jonathan Jones here on the Rich Eisen Show studio in Charlotte. You wrote a fascinating piece for Sports Illustrated about why NBA head coaches Van Gundy and obviously Popovich in particular are so outspoken about the election and things of any political nature, and the NFL is as buttoned up as they possibly can be. Why do you think that is?
Obviously, the NFL is a more conservative league, and I mean that both in what you want to say and I think also ideologically, at least with the coaches, right? But then there's also the idea of NBA individuality. And I think I brought up the point of, back in the 80s when they said, listen, Michael Jordan, you can't wear the shoes with the red soles on the bottom. They don't adhere to our uniform policies. We're going to fine you. We're going to fine you. Then they said, you know what? After all those fines, the shoes selling well. Do what you want. And now we see guys on the court wearing whatever shoes they want, having really whatever messages they want. Meanwhile, the NFL just fined Antonio Brown a couple weeks ago $6,000 for having a little bit of light blue on his cleats. And so there is an
they are having, as you know, in a couple of weeks, though, a 1 week.
Then week 13, they're go hog wild, sell your cleats to charity,
do whatever you wish.
Fun. Yeah.
Right.
And I think that's a great step by the NFL. But there's this uniformity throughout the NFL. And I think it is not just in uniforms and equipment, but obviously all over. We see Josh Norman can't shoot a bow and arrow, an imaginary bow and arrow, without getting flagged and fined. The Titans receiver can't take a nap in the end zone. And so all of these things, what really rubbed me the wrong way, I think, was Brady and Belichick and Nick Saban, if we're talking about all of football, and what their response was to the election. And I think if you look at what the NBA and a lot of these outspoken coaches and players are saying, it leans one way. And I'm not necessarily saying that you have to lean this way if you're going to talk. I don't really mind which way you lean. But if you offer an endorsement, which Bill Belichick absolutely did, even though he said he's not political and it wasn't an endorsement, if we believe what Donald Trump, the president-elect, said on that stage, that is absolutely an endorsement. Tom Brady, that's an endorsement. Then own it. Don't just because you are a public figure, you're a guy who you're people that people do take their cues from. And so for you to kind of put yourself out there and say, look, guys, I'm not getting political. I'm not talking about this. I don't have any respect for that. And if Greg Popovich felt as passionately the other way as he does the way that he does right now, I'd probably disagree with him, but I would still respect that.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.